Hello YouTube, this is Insane Monster, and this is part 3 of What If Asta was the son of SCP-073, aka Cain. When we last left off, Asta helped save Noelle from her own magic, and afterwards read the entire Black Bull's library looking for anything concerning his abilities that seemed somewhat curse-like. But unfortunately, he found nothing, to his disappointment. Which we get back to the story right now. Once Asta was stretching and heading to go get something to eat, he was hearing Charmy hollering, saying that her vegetables have been blessed by the gods. As Asta walked in, he just saw a giant-ass tomato taking up most of the room on the table. Thinking, oh, come on. Why? Why? She was saying that her garden was blessed, and in Asta's mind, he's just thinking, wait, she has a garden? Of course he does. Well, then he just gets looked at by Finro, Gordon, Yami, and Noelle that have seen his plants, his effect on plants. Which Finro tells Charmy the truth. Once that happens, he just looks at Asta, saying, you need to change your bedroom to be right next to my garden. Which he's just, like, really? Which Yami grabs her by the head, saying, no way. I'm not having giant vegetables brought into the hideout all the time. Which Charmy is just fed up, is not going along with what Yami says, until Yami gives her the terrifying look that ultimately says, do you want to die? After that, Asta was complaining that they haven't gone on any missions yet. This Asta isn't as lacking in information, so he does know about the Clover Kingdom's magic knights going on missions, protecting the kingdom from outside forces and other things. Yami just said that you'll get a mission when you get one, and tells Magna that they're leaving to the usual place after handing out the pay. And we have to where Yami and Magna gambled away all of their clothes, which we speed up to where Asta's feeding the beasts that Yami keeps in the hideout, and they're just gonna chill, literally eating out of the palm of his hands without actually eating him. Which Noelle's like, how are they like that with you, but not with anybody else here? Asta just kind of laughs, saying, "This is animals are just calm by me, though if they're too aggressive, it doesn't work." He just says, "Huh, that's kind of weird." Which is when Magna and Yami coming in butt naked, telling them about their new mission. Get a moment to get dressed later. They were told that they have to go kill some boars. Asta was like, "Is that it?" And they just said, "Yeah, that's pretty much it." Noel still complains about it being boar killing and it being beneath the royal, but still having the force to go. Though since Asta can't fly here, he still has to ride on the magic broom that is Crazy Cyclone belonged by Magna. So they get there and start killing the boars. Some boars try to uh, use their tucks to stab Asta, but the reflection of damage just made it to where the boars ended up getting stabbed instead. Once he started piling on the boars, carrying them away, Magna's like, "Jeez, you're pretty freaking strong." Asta just replied with, "Well, I don't have any magic to use for fighting, so strengthening my body is a priority. And even though I can reflect the damage onto the people who attack me, I still feel the pain, and there's only so much of that I can take. So I'd rather uh, beat them than have them beat on me and we both feel the pain. So there's that." But as they got closer in with Sachi Village in view, they'd hurry up to the mist. Once they got there, Magna can in the well noticed that it's a barrier of magic. Asta didn't spend any time wasting for them to ask him, pulled out his sword and start cutting, saying, "Magna, lead the way. You probably if they're if this is a barrier, they probably have all of the villagers gathered up. Where would that be?" Magna guided them to the center of the town where they would most likely be. Once they got there, they saw the icicles above the villagers. Magna, like in Canon, blew them up. And like in Canon, Asta was using his sword to reflect the spells and destroy them, and Magna using his flame magic to destroy the icicles as well. Though one of them hit Asta in the shoulder, causing one of the enemy mages to suffer the injury instead. Asta told them, "If you continue this, I'm just going to let your attacks hit me. Then all the damage is going to be reflected onto you." They were surprised by this, but couldn't deny it after what they just saw. But the guy leading them said, "It doesn't matter if we die. We'll make sure that all of those animals die along with us." Agna starts saying, "Damn it, these guys are some kind of fanatics. Just great. They don't care if they die, and if they do die, we won't get any information about why they're here." So they just kept continuing over and over. The more Asta struggled, because he knew letting his power affect them to cause injuries would mean that they would get nothing out of this. Noelle still developed her sea dragon's lair after the little girl asked if they're going to protect them, giving Asta a chance to blitz forward. Though the ice maid still uses the ice spike to try to stab Asta, but in a moment of intensity, Asta's blue marks began growing brighter and brighter along with his blue eyes. And as for the silver markings, they started to they covered his body that wasn't marked already, creating a metal shell around him, breaking the spike that was supposed to split his gut, with him saying, "Didn't know I had this. Seems like I can take you in without harming you now." Swinging his fist to shatter the ice with his now metal fist, though the metal was all over his body, still the blue glowing markings were still there, not being covered up. Asta didn't know what was going on, but he just glad that his body reacted to what he needed. You have to figure that a lot of Cain's body was pure metal, so those lines just kind of compress and contain it. Now it's released, encoding him like a cell. Asta begins the blitz right toward the mage, slicing him, but it turned out to be a clone. He tried to attack again, though with his metal skin, he was able to defend some of the blows while still reflecting or destroying his magic. So, which we get back to where we were in canon, where Magna throws an attack that Asta then reflects, sending it back to the mages that invaded to capture them. Unfortunately, like in canon, one of them did get away, and the chief of Sachi village did die. Once they propped the bad guys up on the wall, they started questioning them and saying that they'll bring them to the capital for further interrogation. Though before the ice mage with the pocket watch did his thing like he did in canon, he looked at Asta and asked, "What exactly are you? You don't, I don't, now that I'm closer to you, you don't seem to have magic, but those abilities of yours, what exactly are they? Are you cursed?" No, no, maybe curse isn't the right word. Those abilities seem to be very beneficial to you. As he took a look at the ground, and it seems as though the very ground you walk on is blessed with life. What are you? Asta just grips his fist as the maid said, "Well, it doesn't matter. This kingdom is doomed. Nothing you can do now is going to change it. And you won't be taking us anywhere for interrogation," which is when he used the magic item to freeze him and his subordinates, shattering them into pieces. They were still frustrated that their lead just went to pieces, literally. They still do a little prayer saying goodbye to the chief of Sachi village's grave, which is when Nero landed on Asta's head and, with the stone in her mouth. She didn't peck Asta in the head this time, when you consider that doing that would just cause her harm, and Nero's not stupid. Asta tries to get the gem out of her mouth when the chief's grandson said that they can have it as a type of payment. So they got the stone and they go off. Still kind of bummed out, but Magna brags about how awesome Asta was with that power he just showed off, giving them metal skin. The Black Bulls were pretty surprised. And Asta tried and was able to flare it up, though he didn't keep it up for long, remarking, "Well, I probably could do it a lot better if I was in a fight. I I just got it, so I don't know exactly how it works." Then Magna also remarks that that guy said something asking if it was some kind of curse or if he was given some kind of gift. Considering he doesn't have magic, it's kind of weird. Isn't it, Captain Yami? Yami said, "Yeah, it is. Though I never heard of a curse that reflects damage done to you onto another. Nor have I heard of one that causes plant life to rapidly grow, not just to its maximum height, but to even further beyond that to monstrous proportions. Considering Charmy's still working on that tomato that she brought in here when they just see Charmy still cutting up the the giant ass tomato, getting it cooked and all that. So there is that to deal with. That now Charmy has a garden that, because of Asta, has gigantic vegetables. And she couldn't be happier. But Yami also complains that some of the plant life that's on the Black Bull's hideout is starting to grow, is starting to get out of hand. Considering that now the Black Bull's hideout looks somewhat like, I guess, like they're trying to make a greenery on the outside of their hideout or something like that. So just saying, sorry, I can't control it. So later on, we get to where they, Noelle, Asta, and Vanessa go to the black market, where they go looking for things. Asta's looking through books, seeing if there's anything on curses or whatever that could help him figure out what the hell he inherited from his dad, this anomalous ability that the letter said. But unfortunately, doesn't come up with anything with the term anomalous ability. Cain decided to leave out in the book about the Foundation and the SCPs, thinking that it might be best to leave that part of his past uh, alone. So there's that. We continue where the old lady gets her money stolen after Seke sees Asta with the Vanessa and Noelle being jealous of him, and they still chase after the bandit taking the money. Asta does the same as in canon and grabs hold of the guy's arm before the bandit was actually able to stab Seke in his foot, saying, "That's not very nice. You shouldn't do that." After they got him restrained, they left. Well, Seke left. And Black Bulls went their way. The Well got her new wand, and the Wizard King got to see Asta's anti-magic. Though he was kind of not pleased that he didn't get to see these odd abilities that Asta seemed to have, along with figuring out what's up with those marks of his. So, at this time, we are at the dungeon. Asta and them were told about the dungeon and where it was located. So, Asta, Noelle, and Luck went off to go conquer the dungeon and grab some treasure. Like in canon, Noelle is still freaked out by the dark and causes the light to go out. And sorry. So Luck still opens the door and all that and leaves them when he figures out that there's other people there for him to fight, which is when they meet up with the Golden Dawn with Mimosa, and Klaus. Klaus still berates Asta for being a commoner, being a part of Black Bulls, and telling him that he lies about gaining a gold star from the Wizard King. Though he's not paying that much attention to him, saying hello to and Mimosa, which Klaus is just getting angry and asking, "Okay, are you really going to ignore me like that?" Ozzy looks at him and says, "Well, if you're going to be rude to me this much, I honestly don't see a point in talking to you. We're both magic knights, and both of our teams were sent here to do a job. So how about you take the stick up your ass and just use it for something else? I don't care what. You can beat the bad guys with it. You can throw it away. I don't care. Then he just goes back to talking to Mimosa and which does ask how does he know her? She's supposed to be a royal. So just said they met while they were kids when their family went to go visit the demon skull. Then Klaus just told them to shape up and that they're going to go to the treasure room of the dungeon right now, which they'd ended up leaving, with Mimosa and saying bye to Asta and Noelle. Noelle looked at Asta asking, "So you saved, so what? You were there at the demon skull at the time she was?" Asta remarks, "Yeah, my village is right next to the old demon skeleton that almost destroyed the Clover Kingdom. Apparently, her and her brother were there, and they were going to take a look at it. And that's when we met. At least the first time we met. So, in this one, Asta's pretty more proactive, so any spells that come up, including the one that caught Noelle, was actually already dealt with pretty swiftly before any problems happened. So not a lot of conflict or a lot of issues in that portion of it. They start wandering when Nero pointed them into a direction, following it to where they found Luck. They were able to cut through Luck's bindings after being caught by the smoke mage. And they fought the same as in canon, though Noelle had to be very careful about her control over her magic, not to cause any harm to Asta to have it reflected. So she's being forced to focus a lot more on her control than normal. But it does end up helping. Next, obviously, Mimosa, and Klaus still get beaten by Mars from the Diamond Kingdom, and Asta still saves They still have that little argument about Asta saving and the fight from with Mars and Asta still goes pretty similar, with Asta sending his magic back, as well as him uh, attacking Mars and all that, sending things flying. When Mars went to go crush him, Asta covered his skin with his new metal ability, finding it easier to do it in actual combat for now than just out of the blue. And yes, that is supposed to be meant as a slight pun. Once that happens, Asta uses his sword to shatter the crystals that surrounded him when Mars attempted to crush him, revealing Asta's metal form along with his trained body that just flows Klaus for a loop when he asks, "Wait, you said he had anti-magic. How is he able to turn his skin into metal like that? What is he?" Noelle just says, "There's those markings or something abnormal about him. That that they're not even magic per se, or at least they're most likely not magic. Whatever he knows about them is apparently very little. I've seen him go through the entire library at the Black Bull's hideout, looking for information on it, I guess, as well as books in the black market. Though Asta still beats Mars, and he still gets chained up by Klaus's magic. Asta still breaks through, opening the door to the vault, and like in canon, Mars still gets free, harming Noelle when Asta defends her and Mimosa while Mimosa is trying to heal her. He gets blown back again, though the injuries and impact from it are now suffered by Mars, which forces him to stumble a bit, not wondering how the hell did he just get injured, though the injuries are being slowly healed. Next, Asta comes back like in canon with the new Demon Dweller sword and starts fighting again. As for how things ended up, Noelle and Mimosa acknowledged Asta, which this time ended up putting both of their magics into it. With it, Asta was able to launch a blue and green magic blade that extinguished and harmed Mars. As for the blade that went into Asta's side, since his abilities wouldn't allow it, it instead caused the injury to happen to Mars, though his Phoenix cloak healed it slightly enough to where it wouldn't kill him immediately if he hadn't gotten medical attention. So it so he could still live, which once the whole place was starting to crumble, Mars tried a final attack on Asta, which like in canon, awakened his wind spirit and destroyed the sword. They were pressed to get out. Asta grabbed Mars with Klaus saying, "What are you doing?" Asta is saying, "Just shut up and let's go." As they were lifting off in the ark, they saw the diamond mages. And Asta said, "Well, looks like we don't have to get him out of here anymore." As he tosses them to the Diamond Kingdom mages in the smoke mobile thing. And Klaus says, "Wait, what? We could have captured him." Asta just looks at him. Yeah, need less baggage. Just go. They hurry up and get going. With, like in canon, Luck and Klaus destroying the rubble as they break free. We continue where Asta is not hurt, like in canon, and Klaus still recognizes and Asta, even though that they're commoners. Asta is saying, "See, you can be nice." Which Klaus just says, "Of course I can be nice." Jeez, why you have to just ruin the moment? Mimosa's with Mimosa laughing, and Noelle finally looking at her, then looking at her hands, only to realize that her clothes are torn, and she starts to freak out. When it's all the boys' turn, she proceeds to slap the piss out of them, though ended up getting slapped back from the reflection ability from Asta, saying, "Oh, I forgot about that." Asta rubbing his cheek, and Klaus saying, "Okay, what is with you?" Just tells him when someone harms Asta, damage that he would have taken reflects onto the person who caused it. Let's call it, says, "Wait, what? How is that possible? He doesn't have magic." Asta just says, "Yeah, all I know is that it's called something that isn't a curse or isn't a hex." When they look at him asking, "What is it?" he tells them The most he knows is from a letter his parents left him saying that it's something called a anomalous ability. Uh, that seems to be part of what these markings are. So I've been looking through all the books I can find to see if there's anything about these anomalous abilities, but nothing, nothing yet. There's not even a mention of anything called that. So they just end up leaving, saying their goodbyes, and going back to their respected hideouts of their Magic Knight squad. And this is where I'll be ending it for today. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.